Hey guys, look at me, Crotch Stiller 2497, dead, in the desert, in space. Wild Fast Jora comes over to revive Crotch Stiller 2497. What are his intentions? The transportation device of the Fast Gorilla has been destroyed, leaving him vulnerable to the Hobgoblin. How will he survive this encounter? It uses its signature attack, Hammer. The Hobgoblin falls. He's now regained his ability to travel, as he now runs back into the vicious, angry, evil creatures known as niggers. That is what we call them as a slang term. The real term is taken, which also is something that niggers do. We now watch the Fast Gorilla approach its destination, the giant fucking block. He now enters the giant purple lights of Cyberpunk 2077 while waiting for the Greek god Zeus to
I just got a really good sudden death. Yeah, I didn't get threat detector, but I got field prep. But it has rifled corkscrew, accurized, assault, field prep, elemental, and range. Huh? Hell no, I lose 20 handling. Still no. I don't like seeing 9 handling.
The Fast Gorilla determines if she should bring out a different weapon other than his electric boogaloo rifle, also known as Anarchy. We now watch the two creatures, Crotch Stiller 24i7 and Fast Gorilla, wait as the god appears, finally ready to do battle. We now watch as the Greek god Zeus takes out his trusty dusty, broken, exotic sword. We now watch as they perform their signature taunting, also known as the floss, done by Ninja, who has a clip very iconic known as him saying, "I am not seeing enough movement."
I hate you so much.
So... Huh? Bro, I'm hard focusing right now. Alright. We now watch as the creatures conspire to kill one black man. They slaughtered the innocent black man at the moment he leaves his house. They then proceed to use his insides to open up a lift to transfer the magic cube. It is said this cube was made by the ancient Aztecs, but everybody knows the Aztecs were also Jewish, so therefore they were Jewish. We now watch as the three conspire to kill more black men to use their insides to traverse the giant Jewish cube. They beat up on another black man. He drops the wrong insides, or so the Fast Gorilla supposes. They then conspire to see who is wrong and who is right. It is proven that the Fast Gorilla is wrong, so he then resorts to throwing, an ancient technique known by his kind that causes great anguish in those around him, specifically those trying to cooperate. It is known that this also causes threats of killing the person, telling them that they have fucked their mother, or that their penis is small. You now get asked a question, while breaking the fucking fourth wall. Will he ever get a wife? The answer to this question? Not acquired. cannot deal in absolutes. Wait, what do we need? Oh, we need white. Yeah, you guys have to shoot them. I have 2 close range weapons and NRP. We now watch as another innocent black man is slaughtered, just like George Floyd. BLM. But they now use the insights to traverse the cube. They now patiently await as crotch stiller AFKs. They now ascend the lift. They now return to the first room to proceed to beat up on more members of the black community. Another innocent black man was slaughtered, and his insides taken. They then proceed to take the insides and follow the will-o-wisp, also known as, I forgot the name of the fucking totem. They continue their search for the mysterious will-o-wisp, only to be greeted with yet another room that they must traverse. What do we need, dirt? Okay. Did you get him? Alright. They now proceed to kill yet another innocent black man, as they now vie over who can get the most votes from the black man's body. This behavior causes great turmoil amongst the three, as they take even more time to reach the will-o-wisp, which their ultimate goal being to kill George Floyd before he can listen to Kanye's album known as Graduation, which is said to give mankind a second chance at life, and also inexplicably excuses him from any racist acts. After all, you really believe 6 million people died? They now successfully complete another room of the mysterious infinite cube. Crotch Killer proceeds to brief the three by throwing himself off the lift, but then is inexplicably drawn by the unnatural nature of the cube to the final room. They now encounter 2 K-pop supporters, who they viciously murdered in cold blood, and are then rewarded by the cube with nothing but shit. They now proceed back through Cyberpunk 2077, very shitty graphic design. Somehow, Crotchkiller has used his magic powers of going fast to negate the existence of walls. This was thought to be removed from the current patch of wildlife, yet somehow it still exists in some forms. They now enter more of Cyberpunk 2077's shitty graphic design. They now approach the endless sea of cancer, also known as must get to triangle on the period. Wait, hold on. Must get to triangle on the tampon strips. The name is still a work in progress, of course, but that is to be expected. We are, after all, a small indie company, also known as Blizzard Entertainment. Crotchkiller falls to his famous enemy, gravity, Zeus also followed
I
to
got
his
off my
greatest enemy.
sparrow and I freaking killed myself with it. I don't know
He dies
how.
to his greatest enemy, broken game mechanics. We now watch as Fast Royale uses his intuition to go the boring but safe route. It is
True.
quite exhilarating watching such a magnificent creature do such exhilarating things, such as jumping, falling,
Breaks
and
his
jumping,
legs.
and falling. He then suffers a grave wound that manages to somehow inextricably repair itself instantly. Medical technology in the modern world cannot even comprehend this strange phenomenon. Further studies are required to understand this creature and the full extent of its healing capabilities. He now takes out, also known as the Fast Royal Mobile, and drops it repeatedly, so he can progress further along the period tampon ropes. Name still in progress. TM. As they continue along the Rainbow Road, also known as Retard Land, there will be no Magic Tin Man, or we now watch as Fast Royala contemplates life decisions while falling to his death into the inexplicable void of depression and debt and furry porn. We now watch as Zeus uses this ancient technique known only to the Greek pantheon. Pharaoh flying. No. Using this ancient technique, he has made it to the end, where he faces the judgment of the air. He now enters the anus of the giant pyramid, only to descend back. Peace now encounters a nigga with unfathomable riz, about
I
to
hate
listen
you so
to
much.
graduation. Will the trio be able to stop this creature with his light-skinned stare from obtaining even more power by listening to Graduation by Kanye West? If the creature is allowed to listen to Graduation, it will grow unimaginable powers, and it will force the trio to rage quit. Fast Gorilla now approaches the endpoint after being cucked by shitty game design. TM. Now entering the anus of the triangle, he now wonders, how does one exist amongst such stupidity? Utilizing the Fast Gorilla mobile, he now approaches the triangle. Unable to wipe due to shitty game design, he then contemplates suicide. They now conspire to make Crotch Stiller kill himself, which causes not a wipe. So Fast Gorilla, using his great intuition, performs the ancient art of committing suicide.
You should have just said walk it, Wancha. Oh my god. I just popped my back. Oh.
They now conspire on
1K.
what weapons to use. They now offer up a weapon that Fast Gorilla does not have due to this game's shitty RNG.
It's shitty RNG factor.
They now conspire to use a long-range weapon that fires 1 bolt per 1 second. We now watch their ancient ritual known as sitting in their inventory for 5 hours before they do anything.
Nah.
They now conspire about labels like schoolgirls, before Fashorilla, using his great impatience, runs away into the corner to hide. Because we all know gorillas, they do not work for themselves.
Did you mean I get white, you get black?
They now conspire on
Okay.
which one of them gets racial rights and which of them does not.
Take the
Fashorilla
whites.
intervenes and steals his white privilege back. He has now gained the inextricable power to say it again with such malice that it causes the heavens to shatter. He has now realized he has made a fruitless endeavor to get whites, because he now realizes being white is not cool, being black is now the new white. After attaining some negotiations, he then proceeds to beat the black people. They now delete one of the 3 spiritual ancestors of the black people, also known as We Was Kangs, so they can now access the ancient chamber of RizzMaster69. They now enter his domain, and he stares at them with the light skin stare. It was not very effective. Somehow, the light skin push manages to send Fashorilla back. He misses a few shots. They have now somehow managed to weaken the light skin, also known as the most dangerous creature amongst all the animals in the animal kingdom, because of its inexplicable power of hypnosis, where it, quite simply, will lock eyes and instantly paralyze the user with its immaculate Rizz. Fashorilla gets sent back due to shitty game design, TM, as he uses his giant balls. In retrospect, we are now overlooking our script to make it more family-friendly. They now successfully slay RizzMaster69, and they have now obtained rights to see Kanye himself in his enlightened form. He presents unto them complete nonsense, such wisdom to learn in the animal kingdom.
What have
I
you
got chest
done,
piece.
you insufferable rat
Let's
man?
go.
Hey, our mutual
I needed
friend
that.
Unbeknownst to
had a
them, they
question.
have been fooled,
We all did.
for this wisdom
So
was
we
not worth the
asked
trouble,
the 9.
What was the answer?
due to
Isn't it
bad
obvious?
RNG.
Light
TM.
and dark are means to survive.
That is the end of our
It's not
episode.
about saints or sinners.
Tune
The
in
Vanguard
Fridays
wouldn't abide
at
that
9 a.m.
answer.
Vanguard
for
ain't
more
here. I'm sick of
Fashorilla
that
Warfare
dogma.
adventures.
What do you think, chosen one? Come on back.